Hi, this is Ken here again. I'm still reading this book, Your Money or Your Life by Joe Dominguez and Vicky Robin. I've been a bit busy over the last 1 week, so I've stopped for some time and now I just want to read off from some chapters here. The reason I want to do this, right, put this out on the video is to actually not only to share with everybody but also to share it with me, right? Sometime down the road, because I might have read some of the chapters, and I might have forgotten what it is, what it is that I have read. So by doing that, I can anytime log on to YouTube and retrieve, right, and play this video of my own reading, so that I can revise what I have read. I know this is a very important book, so many pages in it are invaluable, and I want to keep that in my mind. I want to remind myself from time to time. So I'm doing this not only for this book but also for other books, as some of you might have noticed. And at the same time, I would like to urge you guys, right, those who love books, to also do the same thing, because I think this is the best way to keep the knowledge in our head, right? Because one reading might not be enough. Good books deserve more than one reading. Some points are really important that we need to revisit from time to time, right? Of course, we can read them silently, go for second or third round, but really we might not have that much time. So I might be reading here one time, but because of my recording, right, I can reread it next time without even looking at the book, without even opening the pages, right? I can be plugging on the earphone, and 20 minutes before I go to sleep, right, 20 minutes before I fall asleep, I can just plug this on and listen to my own reading. And I think it's a good thing to do, especially when the points are really important. So that's why I'm doing this, and I hope that you guys will do likewise. Not only is it good for me, right, if you read some books that I'm interested in, then even if I don't get hold of the book, I can still know what it is, what are some of the contents in it, right, without even reading the book. And it's also good for you because you are practicing your reading, and of course you're reading those things you think are relevant and related to your world, so you can listen to them over and over again, right? So that way we are making full use of the technology that we have available around us. All right, so that's the reason why we should read and record it and do video clips about it, right? Okay, so where should I read? Maybe I should read from somewhere in the middle. Okay, right. Right, I'm reading from page 143. All right, this chapter is How Much Is Enough? The Nature of Fulfillment. Right, this section is called Reconnecting with Our Spirituality. Right, reconnecting with our spirituality. Now, the good thing I like about this book is that it teaches us to become frugal, right, and not to be too materialistic, and to see the world for what it is. A lot of us are living in a rat race, right? Year in, year out, decades in, decades out, wasting our lives away, right? Chasing for something that we think are important, but actually does us no good or even destroy us. First, the man take the job, but the man eventually ended up being taken by the job. And when he realized it, the life, energy that he has is only a few more years to live in this world. It's really not worth it, because the job that we do that we think are so important, right? So that we can buy all those material things, are actually taking a lot of time away from our loved ones, and taking a lot of time away from us, from doing those things that we truly believe in, things that are in line with our value. So the reason why I like this book so much, that was the first reason, right? Because it teaches us to be more grounded, right? To see the world through its facade. The second reason is that frugality is actually, right, a good virtue. Frugality is actually not a deprivation, as most of us would have thought, right? And frugality will actually bring us financial freedom, financial independence, right? So it's not like living a frugal life like a miser and not knowing what real, meaning of life is. It's not that, right? That is another extreme. We don't want to be that. On the other extreme, we have people who always like to spend and spend and spend, so they keep on working so that they can spend more, not for their needs but for their whims and fancy. Now that extreme is obviously not a good thing to do, right? So this frugality advice from this book is about you being frugal so that you can use those time, free yourself more time to do the things that you want and have more fun, living your life, have more purpose, have more sense of mission in your life, right? So that's why I like this book so much. So with that, I'll just perhaps read one paragraph here, and yep, that's it. So let me start now. Reconnecting with our spirituality. As Maximo Calao, the K-A-L-A-W, the young man from the Philippines, indicated, widening our sense of identity to encompass this larger community of communities is only half of the journey to a sustainable future. We also need to deepen our identity by reconnecting with our spirituality. If problems are really opportunities to grow, then the problems we face as a species constitute a call to a new understanding of what it means to be human. This kind of understanding won't come from technology, science, or government establishments. It will come from deep within each one of us, both within and outside the structures of traditional religions. Americans have been struggling to reconnect with this deeper aspect of life. What would be a compassionate way to relate with those billions of fellow humans, people who may live halfway around the planet, yet who enter our homes nightly via TV? What respect and protection do I owe to other species? What do my values say about war? About how my consumption might affect my biosphere? About homelessness and hunger and plenty? We have the awesome task of living in this global community of communities and participating as global citizens. The enormity of this task is sending us back to our roots, both within our religious traditions and within ourselves. The new roadmap for money is part of this new roadmap for the human family, coexisting with all of life on our shared home, the earth. I'll read one more section before I switch this off. Having enough. Having enough. Global citizens living sustainably in a global community of communities. What kind of world would that be? Let's try to imagine for a moment such a world in which everyone had enough for his or her survival, enough for comforts, and even enough extra for those special times that represent real pleasure. We began this chapter talking about our personal dreams and about aligning our earning and spending with our values and our sense of purpose. The dream of everyone having enough has been with us as a species for thousands of years, yet has never been fulfilled. Following the steps of this program, doing your tracking and monthly tabulation, and asking yourself the 3 questions will become so simple so much second nature that you might wonder what would happen if everyone who's living on more than enough did it. The dream of a